Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron. Welcome back to the Gamertron Show. It appears we've had a little misunderstanding. Y'all seem in direct conflict with my reasoning for the appropriation of anime waifu imagery. Excuse me, allow me to use a more accurate descriptor. Pictures of Japanese cartoon sluts. I utilize these visuals in my community posts and thumbnails of my videos for the sake of comedic irony, because I despise, I loathe anime, so it's funny, it's ironic, but y'all don't seem to believe it, so allow me to make things absolutely crystal clear with the following demonstrations. This is me. This is anime. This is how I feel about anime. This is me. This is anime. This is how I feel about anime. This is me. This is anime. This is how I feel about anime. This is me. This is anime. This is how I feel about anime. Okay, I think that's enough demonstrations. Now, all joking aside, some of you are genuinely curious as to whether I'm joking when I say I hate anime. I'm only partially joking. Now, there's objectively good anime out there, and I've watched some objectively good anime. Berserk, the 1990s one, Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, and two other anime that I've watched, but I haven't watched them in such a long time I can't confirm whether they were actually good or not. I mean, I have positive, pleasant memories about them, but I can't tell you whether they're objectively good or not. I just haven't watched them in such a long time. Those anime being Gargantua on the Viridius Planet and Claymore. So I'm confident in saying I've watched some good anime, but the vast overall majority of anime that I have seen have been utter garbage, with terrible dialogue, terrible writing, terrible stories. While I can safely say I've never watched an anime with bad animation, good animation can only go so far. If I hate or don't care for any of the characters, if I'm confused, dumbfounded by what's going on, if I'm getting frustrated at the terrible writing and dialogue, basically, if I'm having a miserable time and I don't care about what happens, good animation, pretty animation isn't all of a sudden going to make the show good. Now, you all know my preferred preference of entertainment is video games. One of the reasons for that being good video games can get away with having terrible stories. If the gameplay in a particular video game is still fun and engaging, then it can still be considered a good video game despite having a bad story. Anime can't get away with that. The same goes for TV shows and movies. Particularly when it comes to action scenes. Action scenes aren't as effective, aren't as enjoyable, aren't as fun, aren't as engaging when you don't care about the characters, the parties involved in the action sequence. The first few Die Hard movies are such good movies because we care about John McClane. Aliens is so memorable and beloved because we care about Ripley. You understand where I'm coming from with these examples. So when I watch anime like Aldnoah Zero, Knights of Sidonia, The Seven Deadly Sins, Devilman Crybaby, Blam, or Blame, however you pronounce it, the Netflix Godzilla anime movies. Oh, and Evangelion. When I watch these shows, I want to tear my goddamn hair out, because I just keep watching and waiting for that moment where it all clicks and I finally start giving a shit, but it never comes. Instead, I just keep asking questions. Why did that person say and do that bizarre thing that makes absolutely no sense and no human being would ever do ever? Why is every character completely defined by a singular stereotype and or gimmick? These shows were written by human beings, right? How is it that every single human character in the show, supposedly constructed by human beings, don't have the characters behaving like humans? whatsoever. I've recently been trying, emphasis on the trying, to watch Goblin Slayer, and the effort it takes to watch this alone makes me want to douse myself in gasoline and light a fucking match. And believe it or not, it's not because there's anything necessarily wrong with the story and characters. There's actually some decent stuff there. But Offer, and I'm gonna butcher this name, Kumo Kagyu, is a lazy hack who decided to not give any of his characters names. They're all just job descriptions. There's a character called High Elf Archer and one called Cowgirl. The author of Goblin Slayer was too lazy to give his characters names. Why? For God's sakes, the movie Flatland, which is a movie about sentient shapes, gave its characters goddamn names. You actually expect me to believe that at no point no one would ever ask what each other's names were, or call out to each other, or address one another by name? Why go out of your way to enable this needless limitation that compromises your script? So that's a possible good show and story ruined for me because of a bizarre writing decision. Oh, and then there's anime with absolutely nonsensical, retarded premises. Like Kakegiru, you really expect me to believe that there's a private academy for high school students to gamble away millions of dollars, their entire livelihoods, and become slaves and all this bullshit. Or even risk their lives for the sake of gambling? God, that's so retarded. And then we have anime with perfectly good, awesome premises ruined by weird Japanese bullshit. Like Attack on Titan. Awesome premise, actually well-written characters, but for some reason, the antagonists are giant, man-eating naked people. Why? That totally handicaps the drama! How am I supposed to take anything seriously or be afraid for our protagonists when they're being attacked by giant naked people? Wouldn't it have been so much better if you replaced the naked people with Lovecraftian eldritch abominations? Just saying. Oh, but speaking of naked people, what is it with anime and the constant fucking teasing? You know what I mean, the fan service. What's the point of having all these half-naked, attractive characters if you're not gonna do the deed with them? What's with all the titillation and no payoff? It's like these shows want to be porn, but they don't want to go all the way, yet they so badly want to be porn? Ugh, I don't get it. If you wanted to make a porno, why didn't you just make a porno? All this titillating and fan service does is make people want to stop watching your show to go watch actual porn. Ugh, but what baffles me the most is the absolutely abysmal quality standards of anime fans. Devilman Crybaby came out the beginning of this year, and everyone said, oh, you have to go watch this, it's so good, it's the best anime in years. And while I'll say the music for the show was phenomenal, the story and characters were atrocious! So poorly written, so retarded! And yet there's so many saying this is one of the greatest anime ever. What is wrong with you people? How can you call a show that has this line of dialogue good?
Even after Jenny took me away, I didn't regain my memory about my identity. But subconsciously, I was putting the plan to revive the demons into action.
That's not how the subconscious works, goddammit! Ugh. From my perspective, and all of the anime that I've consumed, all the research I've done watching anime YouTubers, from where I'm looking, the overwhelming majority of anime is just awful. Garbage. It's bad. And it seems like to me, fans of anime just have incredibly low standards. And I don't know why they do, when shows like Berserk, the 1990s version, Full Metal Alchemist, and Cowboy Bebop exist. I know this art form is capable of quality content, so why so much of it is fucking awful, terribly written, trite, and why the fans of this medium seem to be content with it as such, I will never understand. Look guys, while admittedly, I was partially joking, I do mean it when I say it. I hate anime. It's not for me. While I can, to a certain extent, see the appeal. Absolutely. This medium, this art form, this entertainment, this hobby does not bring me joy, does not bring me happiness. Instead, it elicits the feeling in me of animosity, annoyance, displeasure, fury, hatred, impatience, ire, irritation, outrage, resentment, and vexation. I don't know how else to put it, guys. I don't like anime. I genuinely hate anime. But that doesn't mean that I won't have discussions about it with you all. That doesn't mean I don't take pleasure and find it funny when you guys use and share with me anime memes. I don't mind when you guys recommend me to watch this or that anime. To be honest though, I'll probably watch only one episode and say it's garbage and never watch it again. But hey, I don't mind friendly recommendations. Just because I don't like anime doesn't mean I don't like the people who like it. I admire your passion, and because I know you guys like anime, it's why I use pictures of anime girls, oops, I'm sorry, let me use the right terminology, Japanese cartoon sluts, in my community posts and in the thumbnails of my videos. It's all in good fun. I don't actually take this that fucking seriously. I don't like anime, but anime is harmless. It's this harmless, brain-damaged entertainment that people are free to enjoy, and I enjoy other people's enjoyment of things. So I hope you all had a bit of fun, and I hope that clears the air. I am not, repeat, not a weeb. I use Japanese cartoon sluts in my community posts and thumbnails for irony, and there is no maliciousness from me towards fans of anime. Also, you can't make me like something I just don't like. But hey, that's people. Also, video games are better than anime in every single way possible. Anyways, that's been a video. Later! Hey, this is a special end-of-video message for my favorite moderator, Best Boy Jake, my one true love. The horrific thought just occurred to me, since I know you're a big fan of anime, that this video might offend you, and I just couldn't bear the thought. You must know you are my one and only true senpai waifu. God, if you were a woman, I would make love to you so hard. Ugh, just the idea of doing you, doggy, is giving me a raging boner right now. Just know that just because there is no love for anime in my heart, doesn't mean that I don't love you with all my heart. However, since I can't do you, I'll settle for your sister instead.